My name is Debbie Doherty. I'm married to Dean Doherty. We were married in April of 1986. In April of 1987, we found out that we were pregnant and that we were going to have a baby. And as any couple would be, we were excited, full of joy. Couldn't wait to tell everybody and wait to prepare for the baby. In May of '87, I had my appointment and came home from my appointment, and Dean had been working in the basement that day, and I called him to come upstairs that I had some news for him. He came up and he said, "I already know there's a problem." I didn't know what to take from there because I didn't know how he could know what I was going to tell him. But I told him that we had had a miscarriage, that all the joy that we felt was being taken away. I don't know how to say it other than that we were very, very upset. It just took all the joy and everything we had in our hearts away. It was a dark time in our lives. It was happy, and then it went to just a dark and gloomy time, and I felt so empty. I didn't know how else to describe it. Having a miscarriage is not something that a lot of women talk about. After this happened, surprisingly enough, a lot of women came to me and shared their stories with me. And while it made me feel better, I still had to deal with it on my own and grieve because it wasn't going to happen. I tried dealing with it, and Dean and I were dealing with it in different ways. It made me angry when I would see other moms just even yelling at their kids, or when they would say, I can't stand something about my kids, or just the littlest thing made me angry, and I didn't like it, but it was just a way of me trying to deal with the whole situation. I actually found myself going to God and saying, why did you cause this pain? Why did you allow this to happen when we were so happy? And it was just taken all away. I was questioning God as to, not for his existence, but because he allowed this pain in our lives. I always had a faith in God, but that time I felt like it took my faith away a little bit. Not completely, but it took something happened inside me that made me doubtful of where God was and why he allowed it to happen. I just found myself getting more angry, and I didn't know how to deal with it. My family and my friends were so supportive, and as I mentioned before, other women would come up and talk to me about it, but it just wasn't happening, and I was just very, very angry. I didn't like the person that I was becoming. I was that way for probably a couple of months until I finally actually went to God one day and just said, I just need this pain to be taken away. I didn't want to feel the way I felt anymore. I prayed and I just asked God for peace, and that if it was his will, that we would become pregnant again. In January of 1988, we learned again that we were pregnant. We were very quiet for a long time until we knew everything was good. The result of that was our daughter Amanda. In 1991, then we had Jared. In your darkest times, it's so easy to blame God, but at the same time, he's there. And if you can just remember to lean on him, carry you through. Because one of the favorite verses in the Bible of mine is, all things are possible through the help of God.